are you reasonably sure? Have you ever tested that what you feel, you know, with someone you may have a different view than your own? Then let's talk to one another. Let's reason with one another on a scriptural discussion with the Son of Man. A live broadcast every Sunday at 12 noon on TV 33, FM 88.1 WHPR, and Comcast Cable. So why don't you call and let's discuss the Holy Bible, and if you have one, the Holy Quran, and come to an agreement about the Holy Scriptures and their true meaning. So tune in to a scriptural discussion with the Son of Man every Sunday at 12 noon right here on TV 33, FM WHPR, and Comcast Cable. You can call in live on the air at area code 313-868-4336, 868-0342, and 868-0351. Of course, the area code is 313. That's 313-868-4336, 868-0342, and 868-0351. And now let's go live with the scriptural discussion with the Son of Man.
In the name of Allah, in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful, the Truthful, and the Most Just. I greet all of you once again with the greeting words of peace from the Lord of the worlds. May Allah's Salam Alaikum. Before I introduce a guest that we invited to come in, who wanted to take me to task on some things that I said, I want to allow Theo Roden to come in and make an announcement concerning Hood research. And so, Ms. Broden, are you there? Brother Derek, I can't.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, Ms. Broden. You're very welcome, Ms. Broden. Brother Derek, you need to clean those lines up so we don't get so much echo.
Is it there? Is it there?
Yes, ma'am. You can go ahead.
Is it there?
We can't hear her, brother. Thank you.
No. Oh, okay. To let everyone know that tomorrow, Full Research is in inviting everyone to come to WHPR. WHPR is just running by leaps and bounds with the renovations, and there's so much pride that this community should have for what is going on at WHPR. It's a station that allowed and is allowing us to share the information that we glean to help us all make better informed decisions, to include those in the community. And so tomorrow, Good Research is encouraging everyone to join us at 2 p.m. at WHPR 150 Victor Street in Highland Park. There's no charge, but there's a lot of information to be gleaned at the meeting. And we encourage those of you who have some information to share with us to please come and do that. We have fear hitting us here in this community with the crimes, the foreclosures, water issues, etc. And, you know, you don't have to have a million degrees to come up with ideas that would turn out to be the best solution. So we encourage all of you to consider the Hood Research meeting tomorrow, and we will be at the HPR from 2 p.m. until 6 p.m. tomorrow. And we're going to have some guests coming in to share information from the city as well. And we're going to talk about a change in the election process and talk about the water affordability plan that has been developed by Maureen Taylor and her committee. But thank you so much, Son of Man. Tomorrow, July 11th, 2 p.m., right there at WHPR. The research wants all of you to join us who can.
All right, you're very welcome, Ms. Broden, and I want to encourage those who are listening. You need to go out and see the station, see what's being done, and you know, we hear a lot of things, especially about Black people who are doing positive things in a world that has strove to hold Black people down. You only hear the news report things that make you feel bad and make you think small of yourself. And a lot of the things that you hear are absolutely false or misrepresented. And so I learned, Holy Quran says, if an unrighteous person brings you news, look carefully into it, lest you harm a people and be sorry for what you did. Now, we have a sister, you know, like I said, you know, if you say things, if you do something, you've heard me say of myself many times, if I say something that you disagree with, you have the right to question me as to why I said it. I'm trying to convert people. I know that everybody is not my follower. Once a person becomes my follower, then they trust me. They trust that I understand things that they don't understand. They trust that I hear things and see things and perceive them in a different way than they do, and they trust my judgment. But people who I'm trying to convert, they don't trust my judgment. They have their own way of looking at things, just like those who are now following me had their own way of looking at things before I convinced them that my way was better. You can't convince a person that their way is wrong if you won't talk to them. You can't tell a person, just throw down what you have and I take what I got, nigga. Well, no, it don't work like that. This sister, she said in her post, I think it was on the Farrakhan Factor, and her name is Aisha, and she said, it baffles me to see we still have some people who will defend Bill Cosby to the ends of the earth. Bill Cosby could drug and or rape your mother, your sister, or your daughter right in front of your very eyes. And you would say, but she was asking for it. I find it inappropriate that the Son of Man is defending Bill Cosby after he admitted his crimes to a judge. Well, that required me to invite her to come in. to talk to me. Unlike other people, you know, they don't care what you think. I do care what you think. And so, Aisha, are you here? Brother, did you tell her what time we was? You can unmute your phone by pressing *6, sister. I mean, what? What do you want me to do? You all just want to hear your side of something and don't really, not willing to confront people. Is he sleepy? That's okay. Okay, you tired? That's okay, little man. He had some dental work done today and he's not at himself. I feel for you. I just can't do nothing about it. Unlike most people, I don't too much care to hear. Now, understand, you know, I don't say I don't appreciate it. I appreciate you speaking up for me. You know, I appreciate you telling me how much you appreciate, you know, what I teach and that kind of thing. But I'm not here to receive all of that praise of whatnot. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to convert people to a better way of life, to the righteousness, not of myself, but of God. You'll notice, I can't take credit for writing the Holy Scriptures. Then the instruction in righteousness wasn't written by me, wasn't authored by me. Just like most teachers who standing up, I don't care if he's a college professor or kindergarten, the books that they teaching out of wasn't written by them, wasn't authored by them. But the government that authored them, that owned and sanctioned and ordained the ones who authored the books. That same authorization was given to those teachers who teaching you the understanding of the book. You may say that you don't believe I'm the Son of Man. That's fine. But you cannot say that the Son of Man is not the one that's supposed to come and teach you these books. So even if I'm not the Son of Man, at least I got the right title to be standing up here teaching you. So if I were you, and a man standing up telling me he's the Son of Man and opening up the scriptures and giving me a chance to express my disagreements with him if I have a disagreement, while I see other people don't do that. You don't go to T.D. Jakes' church or to none of these other people's meetings, and they let you do them like I let you do me. That alone should tell you that something going on here that you better be careful about turning down. Now, you'll notice I say all of these things. I say things that sometimes offend people. But as I offend people, I also, when they have respect for my forum, I also let them come in here and tell me what I said that offended them and why, and I get into a back and forth with them. I don't mind getting in a back and forth with you, because while you trying to tear me down, that's all you try to do. It's just like the brother who come in here and call my mother a bitch. I mean, that boy don't never met my mama. He don't know nothing about my mama, but he making judgments about her. And if he had met my mother, he'd be ashamed of himself. You know, maybe. You know, some people, I don't care. We used to have old saying when I was growing up, and people, you'd hear some people say, ain't no shame in his game. And that sometimes meant something good. Is the things that he doing, he have nothing to be ashamed of. And then sometimes is that no matter how low down of a thing that person does, and you confront them about it, they don't have sense enough to be ashamed. Do you understand? So there's much that I like to, I'm not trying to tear people down. I'm trying to tear down the false knowledge that people believe is true that tears people down. Do you understand? You notice when I interviewed Jewel Allison, you found out she wasn't being truthful. I showed you that Janice Dickinson was putting on an act. They went from accusing that man of raping them, for instance, to assaulting them. And as any lawyer knows, that you can touch a person's arm and that they can file assault charges against you. They playing with you. They playing with your ignorance. I mean, when Bill Cosby first broke into television, America had, and it ain't too far from that now, but America had a drug culture. I mean, everybody that was in, I remember some of the parents of some of my schoolmates was dealing drugs. I know what was going on back then, and I don't know why y'all want to. I mean, here you got some people sitting up that don't know nothing about nothing, running with the. I mean, who bringing you this news? See, CNN, MSNBC. And you remember when they was running around here calling Minister Farrakhan an anti-Semite? Every time you look on the TV, anti-Semite, anti-Semite. I didn't run with that either. It's just, I mean, this sister even accused me of taking money from Bill Cosby. And Bill Cosby ain't donated no money to the Nation of Islam. And I told her that's an insult to me. What you think, I'm for sale? Is that what you get out of me? As many people as I offend and all of that, you think I'm up for sale? Now they couldn't get no case against that man for rape, Because they had tried to get women to have sex with him and then say he did it and save some of his sperm and whatnot. So because they couldn't do that, they controlled the media. So they come and keep on saying the same thing. This is the end game they playing now. They've been at them documents and stuff. Now I want to tell the judge, want to make it look like that's something new. And I'm gonna let you hear what they played here. This script doesn't stop doing. See, a script on this page may be busy, or it may have stopped responding. You can stop the script now, open the script in the debugger, or let the script continue. I'm gonna let the script continue and see if it'll play here. But y'all pardon me a minute, look like it's playing. So let me put it up. See, that's the difference between you and me. I don't just say I love my people. I do love my people. And that's not racism. That's just me honoring the womb that bore me. I mean, why should I take something and run with it that people who enslaved me and many of them, they was having arguments over taking down a rebel flag. And even white people should have been offended at that flag, because that flag was the flag that they fought a civil war, and the ones who flew it lost the war. Then why they still got the flag up? And you always talking about it, America, if you don't love it, leave it. That's what you should have been saying to all these rebels that don't want to be here, leave. But yet you over there taking something that these crooks, and I call them right, bunch of crooks, they got something to say about.
With the Associated Press has learned a lengthy deposition.
Just a moment. The Associated Press. Now, listen to this. Let's back it up.
And a second woman testified in the same case.
In 2005 that he obtained quaaludes to
young women he wanted to have sex with, the Associated Press has learned. A lengthy deposition obtained by the AP reveals Cosby gave the sedative to at least one woman and other people. That woman, former Temple University employee Andrea Carr, and a second woman testified in the same case that they had knowingly taken quaaludes from him. When asked in the 2005 deposition whether he obtained the quaaludes to give them to women he wanted to have sex with, Cosby answered yes. When asked whether he...
The women said that they took them knowingly. In the 60s, who is that unmuted their phone? What is it? Huh? Oh, that's right. You did the right thing. He just don't want the truth to come out. That's all. In the 60s and the 70s, and if you be truth all the way up to right now, people give women buying men drugs, alcohol, and coke, and marijuana, and you name it, and men buying it for women, tell me that ain't so? Come on in here and talk in a forum that ain't controlled by these crooks who trying to defame a man that they couldn't control. That's the only problem. That's the problem. He's not under their complete control. And so now they call themselves launching a smear campaign against the man because he stood up and dared to tell black people that, look, man, you out here knowing people want to shoot you down and looking for an excuse, and you there grabbing something, a piece of pound cake or whatever, just giving them an excuse to murder you. Now, Aisha, you said these things that I should not be defending Bill Cosby. Let me let you hear who it is accusing Bill Cosby. And they even talks about theyself. And you got nerve enough to come in here and ask me how come I ain't jumping and running with something that people who accuse this man are very careful about who they go and tell it to. I'm not careful about telling people that the white man made a slave out of me. I ain't careful about telling nobody. Whoever will listen, I'll be glad to tell them and entertain their arguments. That you remember when the media was accusing the Nation of Islam, headed by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, of preaching hate. They even had a show, the hate produced. Huh? And was saying that we was preaching hate against white people. But they was very careful not to talk to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad about what they was accusing him of. You see, and likewise, the agreement in that out-of-court settlement was that no parties could talk about the case. Agreement, even with all of this stuff that they saying, they broke the agreement. Because the case had actually, the fire that they had lit had died. Nobody was thinking about that no more. Well, we can't have this. Start it up again. That's all that's about. Start it up again. Don't you think it's kind of strange that I have a 3-hour, 4-hour broadcast that's international on the World Wide Web, and I invited all them women and all these people to come in here? You remember when I was talking to Gloria Allred, the attorney for some of these women? You know, and she was one of the teachers at my high school. And when I started asking her questions that made it look like what it really was, a farce, she said she had to go. Now, if you have a real case or something that is truthful, why are you with the truth running from somebody who wants to question you about the truth that you say you have? About why am I defending if he'd raped my mama? That man ain't raped. I asked Miss Ruley, did Bill Cosby rape you? What did she say? She said no. When Whoopi Goldberg, they mad at Whoopi for still saying the jury's still out as far as she concerned. They mad, probably want to do something to her now. Because she don't want to go along with the lynching. So, you know, this is it's just sickening. You want to let the people who did all of these hateful things to us, and even when you done read the William Lynch thing, when you know the game that they've been running on us, what did they say when in the making of a slave? It said, take the biggest, strongest nigger and strip him naked in front of the rest of them. Make the rest of them watch. Is that what they said? Yes. And then do what? Tar and feather him and tie him between two horses and point the horses in opposite directions and set him on fire and beat the horses until they rip his body apart and put the fear of God in them niggas. Make the women and the babies watch it too. What they did, they say he held himself out. This is the judge's excuse for going back on the court-ordered agreement that stuff is sealed. Huh? Did they make the woman give him his money back? Well, she broke the agreement. They breaking the agreement. She running her mouth, she's broke the agreement. He ain't broke that agreement. He won't even talk about that stuff. Because, and his lawyers wisely told him, don't you get out there and say nothing. You can't. Many people that are stars have made out-of-court settlements with people who would besmirch their reputation based on, even if it ain't true, it's not good publicity for you. Now they want to say he held himself out as America's dad. You know, why does that offend them? Because if a black man is looked up to by black and white children, and then he starts telling people that they should emulate the black Muslims, well, how's that going to make people look at the black who people teachers? I noticed don't none of them come in here and tell me I'm teaching hate. But tell me something. What does it make you do when you hear about somebody putting a man between two horses and making his women and his children and all of that, beat them till, you know, make them watch while they rip that man's body apart in front of them? But what are they teaching? They say, oh, teach that nigga a lesson, right? Yeah. When they hung us from the trees, what was they teaching? Some of them want to do that to me right now. I know you want to. I'm not, ain't no guards around me. I'm not running around here fearful what you gonna come do. You're wicked. That's not hate, that's the truth. For you to even want to do anything to a person for talking, what they saying must cut against you. And because you don't want to correct yourself, you don't want nobody offering you that which should make you correct yourself. How I know that? I'm a human being. I lived. I know how it was when I was growing up. I wanted to go and do something, and I was out there getting ready to do it. And my brother came and said, "You know, Daddy said we ain't supposed to do. You making me sick. Get out of here." Why? Because I was doing something that I knew I didn't have no business, and I didn't want nobody reminding me. So what they want to do? Want to tear him down in your eyes. And isn't it his? Look at all of the people that used to be his friends. Why they ain't saying nothing? You'll be next. That's why. Got some on all of them. Let me let you see something else here. You know, when it comes to these people that want to come in here and just cloud the issue with showing their behind and whatnot, for the audience sake, for those who want to hear the truth, you have my permission to, just take care of that. You understand? The people don't need to hear all of that foolishness from them. Now, anybody that's got a legitimate argument with me, I welcome it. But I don't welcome you coming in here just so you can bend over and pull your pants down and tell somebody to, as they say, mooning nobody. We don't want you mooning in here. Or streaking. We don't need no streakers in here, do we? All right. Same way there's a spiritual, a physical streaking. That's when people strip their clothes off and run through a mall or run down the street. When Allah gave us clothing, he gave us his word to clothe our minds with civilized behavior and with righteous conduct. When you take that off, when you don't put that on your mind, then you are naked and you streaking in there. We don't want you streaking in there. All right. Now, if you're going to offer me some correction, you do it with the word of God. Don't come in here with your personal opinion. I just did what Allah said do. Didn't I ask when I first heard about this Bill Cosby stuff? The Holy Quran says, if an unrighteous person brings you news, and since the scripture says there is none righteous, no, not one, then, okay. You remember Miss Ruley told them that she's, what was that, Irish or something? I forgot what. And she could drink the average man under the table. Huh? Then when I asked her about that, she said she don't drink. Yeah, these people got together and done said in their hearts that these Negroes, we don't want them looking up to nobody, no Bill Cosby or no black man. Remember, in the Willie Lynch thing, it says the slavery system fall apart if the slave starts looking at itself as equal. It falls apart if the slaves start trusting one another. Huh? So they want you and I. Now look, wait a minute. Any white person that hear me talking, that disagree or want to take me to task about what I'm saying, I welcome you to come in here. Keep a civil tongue in your head, and I welcome you to come in here and have that conversation with me. I'm not going to do you like you do us, like they doing with these women. You notice, ain't no news person did what I did with these women. Well, why didn't you report it? And when everybody's saying the same thing, it shows that they done got their lies straight. Because all these different people still talking about that I was a powerful man and I was afraid. He didn't forget he's black. Ain't no such thing as no powerful black man in America. The president done showed you that. He can be standing up giving a State of the Union, and a white senator can stand up in there and say, you lied. They ain't never did that to no president before. Now want to try to get the first black president to strip an icon of any respect. So they're going to turn President Obama into a whipping boy. You know, they used to do that. They used to make a black man whip another black man. He was called the whipping boy. So that's what they think that they can turn us into for each other now. You can't turn me into your whipping boy. I think President Obama is too intelligent to take your propaganda. Here, that man ain't never been convicted of nothing in no court of law. Nothing. And all them that he done helped, well, he ain't good company, because that's how they did Jesus. Brought him some false witnesses against him. And then when somebody even questioned, when Pilate, you remember Pilate said, well, I don't find no fault in the man. What has he done? It said, let him be crucified. And Pilate said, but what crime did he do? And they told him, if you don't do it, we're going to tell Caesar that you ain't his friend. We don't recognize no king but Caesar. And Pilate washed his hands. He got scared. Washed his hand. Huh? He said, I'm out of that. My name is Wes. I ain't in that mess. Huh? I can't do that. You know, I'm not going to stand by and watch you lynch that man with a lie. Here, you done heard Janice Dickinson stand up and tell you what the real story was. It always was alcohol, always was drugs. Man, it was drugs and stuff was so plentiful that they was making songs about drugs. Making songs about, and even sounding like they was sitting up at a bar somewhere drinking and drunk. And let me see here. I like the things that y'all give me a minute here. My stop working. Okay. All right. I'll show you something here. I mean, these people, this is a little old, but I'm a little old. So, you know, I mean, in Watts, we kind of got some of all of the songs that was out there. And this one in particular was kind of funny, but it showed you that what was going on in the 60s and the 70s and you know, this was when Bill Cosby was on the air and that kind of thing, you know, on I Spy. I don't know if some of you need to go online and look at I Spy, and you will see what kind of pride it had to instill in black people to see a black man, even in some episodes, beating up on white folks. I mean, while black people was marching and demonstrating for and getting dogs sick on us and fire hoses and stuff turned on us and being looking at Amos and Andy and things that were demeaning to us, here you got a black man that's playing the role of a spy. 007 and all that kind of stuff. So it made us proud. So, you know, they got an old saying, I made you and I can break you. That's what they're trying to do now. They're trying to break him now. And they want you to help him break him. The news media don't control me. I say to every one of them who, when they come up there reading their script to you, ask yourself, who is this bringing me this news? People who done convinced you that homosexuality is a natural thing? I told you that I agree that you got a right to do that. I didn't tell you that what you was doing was right. But at the same time, I do know that the word of God is free. Freedom. He didn't give us a choice and then rob us of our choice. He just told us, now you choose. He's pointed out to us the two conspicuous ways, the way of right and the way of wrong, and tell you, and you make your choice. Now, listen to this song here, and you'll see what I'm talking about. If it'll come up.
Just take a drink to the end of the bar, but let it be. Now don't you be a fool. I'd rather have a seat and sing prison, and to sit there by her on that stool. What's that you say? Are you looking for a fight? But it ain't nothing I need. Do you?
I used to sit around listening to that, watching the old people drinking beer and laughing and going on about it. I even learned the song. And I mean, they're sitting up just having a good old time, laughing about somebody getting drunk at a bar. And the man told him, say, I wouldn't sit there if I was you, buddy, because that man is a mighty jealous man. And the fella that he was trying to warn, he said, are you looking for a fight? He said, ain't nothing to me. That's what he told. Now, some of y'all might not have heard this when you was growing up, but in Watts, we kind of got everything. So just
see that man at the end of the bar, but now you see that she belongs to him. I can tell by the way he looks at you, but that he's sure the quick-tempered, jealous man. What's that you say? Are you looking for a fight? But it ain't nothing to me. You see, what you have made him do, they have come to take him off to jail, but tomorrow someone's gonna bury you. Oh well, that's life. Or as it was, twerk nothing to me.
The name of the song was "Tain't Nothing to Me" by the Coasters. The name of the song was "Tain't Nothing to Me" by the Coasters. And these songs that I'm letting you hear, they are, you know, they was popular when I was a youngster. You know, I didn't know all I was getting me ready then for this day and time now. You see, you're not gonna, you know, you can come and tell people who don't know. You can tell people who wasn't there. You can tell them anything. Just like they were sitting up there in that movie Malcolm X, talking about when they showed the temple showed the scene of the temple. Talking about, when you think of the white man, think of the devil. As though that's what we wasn't teaching that. That ain't what happened in Muhammad's temple. But that was their way of saying that we was being brainwashed. Have you heard any Caucasian come in here and tell me that we didn't make white people? You know why he don't come in here and try to tell me that? Because he knows that we did make them. He also knows that I know how to prove it. All I got to do is ask him where he came from. That's one way I can ask him. It can shut his mouth right quick. Where'd you come from? Even the Klan man, he understood when I told him, we the one brought you out of the caves. Because we the one ran him in there. That's not me standing up here trying to make mockery. That's history. Somebody he discovered far. He tell you anything when you don't know. We taught him to cook his meat. And even to this day, he really don't, most of them, they don't like cooked meat. They rather eat it half raw. That's rare. They don't say give it to me raw. That'd make you look at them. They just say rare. Look, man, don't you know that if I was not who I say I am, you would have been able to find many ways to attack me? You sure been trying. And every time you tried, you see it blew up in your face. You learn after a while, leave me alone. You don't like me, you better leave me alone. Because that at least gives you a chance to repent. Now, let me let you see something else. You know, a lot of y'all don't know what's been going on. Let me show you that here's a good example right here. Now this concert here, I want you to see how many people was getting high. Just take a look at this. I guess it'll play. Everybody was getting high. It's just like you go to a bar and then won't buy no woman no drink. You wasn't going nowhere with her. Well, them women wanted something else. They wanted some Quaaludes or whatever. Meaning all this stuff that go on in Hollywood, and you want to try to single out Bill Cosby to try to make him some kind of rapist or something. That ain't gonna work. No. What about what they call it? Them producers had the casting couch. Excuse me for saying had. I don't see them bringing none of them up on no charges. Even had Jimmy Walker out there. Let me see here. Maybe I can find it. But first, I want you to hear another one. It wasn't just white people. Everybody was singing them kind of songs. Everybody must get stoned. Let's see here. Let's see. Here it is. This is Ray Charles.
Now wait a minute. You know my baby, she won't let me in. Got a few pennies. I'm gonna buy myself a bottle of gin. And then I'm gonna call my buddy on the telephone and say, let's go get stoned.
Now, for people to be making songs talking about let's get stoned, what does that do? What's happening? Wasn't nobody demonstrating and picking and saying that's round. Mamas was doing it. Daddies was doing it. It's like when they said that, I got a few pennies, I'm gonna go buy myself a bottle of gin. And if you had 50 cents, 53 cents, you could go get you a short dog. Didn't want to come up here and try to make it look like somebody was raping somebody. Ain't nobody raped them women. And you know, it's funny how you want women's lib on one hand, but then when somebody question a woman about what she's accusing a man of, now you say we bashing women. If she got nerve enough to accuse somebody, don't we have a right to question her about to make sure her accusation is true? Or when did her mouth become a prayer book? Women ain't gonna lie on you, right? You know what I'm talking about? If it was your mama, what about if it was your son? Would you think I was wrong for questioning the woman that was accusing your son? What mother wants to think that she raised up a rapist? You ain't gonna tell me what was going on back in them days. I know what was going on. Superfly wasn't just no movie. That was life in the black community. we was living our lives. You could see our history by looking at the movies, listening at the songs. And then a man get out there somehow and that stuff didn't stick to, named Bill Cosby. Now you want to get up here in his years and all of the awards that he got for ducking and dodging all of them pitfalls. Now you want to come up and call yourself accusing because he was a womanizer. At least he wasn't up there when somebody come to do an interview, they're putting their hand on the shoulder, trying to lust after a man. You can say what you want. Like I said, you say that about President Kennedy or any of the rest of them. But that don't take away, that don't detract from no good that he did. Which of you been so pristine that you got some judgment to bring on somebody like you? You want to sling mud on him, but I bet you don't have no skeletons that you don't want to. I bet you got skeletons that you don't want nobody to bring out. What you've been doing. The very people who behind the closed doors pulling the strings. Who was supplying all the coke to Miss Dickinson there? Was Bill Cosby doing that? I ain't through with this. No. Well, let me let you hear Ray tell you.
Now listen. You know I went so hard all day long. Everything I try to do seems to always turn out wrong. That's why I want to stop by on my way home and say, now let me tell you one more thing. Ain't no harm to have a little taste, but don't lose your cool and start messing up the man's place. Ain't no harm. Take a little nip, but don't you fall down and bust your leg. No, no. I think everybody ought to come on and go with me. I'm going to tell you one more time what I'm going to do. I think you ought to say it one more time.
You know, I have to dwell on this a little bit. Because I say, you know, I have to dwell on this a little bit. Because it's wrong what they're doing to that man. I notice every one of these places that, look at this here. They are currently trying to get Payne College to rescind Bill Cosby's honorary degree. Even if he had been convicted, which he haven't, ain't even been charged, except for in the media. And every time they talk to a person in law enforcement, they tell them there was nothing they could do. There was no charges they could bring. But the media, they say, well, we gonna lynch this nigga. And we gonna get the other niggas to help us. I told you, I'm not a nigga. I'm not jealous of Bill Cosby. And you know, they got a famous saying that this world, and you heard it, whether you did, even if you don't like to admit it, I heard them say it. It's nothing that people like more than watching a star rise than watching them fall. What they always say is, ain't nothing that a nigga, Niggard, likes more than watching a star rise than watching him fall. Because jealousy and envy makes him say, if I can't have it, I don't want to see him with it either. I bet paying college ain't cut no check and say, here, take your money back. Take them donations back that you made to us. I bet ain't none of the rest of them send no money back either. Huh? And all of the people that his reputation allowed him to help and encourage to do better. Do you honestly think that undoes that? Because you accusing him of something that he was never convicted of? That'd be the same as asking me, did I ever give drugs to somebody? Yeah, I gave drugs to somebody before that asked for it. Be surprised at some of the stuff that we all done did. I ain't proud of it, but at the time, everybody was doing that. Everybody was, you know, I mean, I done gave whiskey and some of everything to people. I'm not trying to be no holier than thou somebody. I know I ain't no holier than you. As far as if you want to go through history, why you think many times I've thought to myself, why me? Why would he choose me? God knows the hearts of people. And I ain't never had no heart. Even when sometimes some white boy would be coming to the school, you know, all black school, here comes some little white boy coming in there. Hey, boy, catch hell. And I never did like that. You know, I don't help you go and beat up on nobody. Just because they white, you want to go beat up on them? That's not no reason to be jumping on people. And I didn't know nothing about Islam then. But as a youngster, I didn't believe in ganging up on people. No, that's cowardly. And when people brought me something, I'm so glad that some of them brothers who were sitting out, some of them was called wineheads. But they would tell me, young brother, you don't want to do this. So because they was a winehead, they couldn't tell me that wine ain't no good. Who better to tell me that it wasn't no good than somebody who had experienced it? I know about buying the white port and pouring the Kool-Aid in there and shaking it up. I used to do that. I learned that from watching them. So it's not a thing where I'm trying to defend a man if he's a rapist. But whatever happens until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. I mean, who said that he gave women drugs with the intent of having sex with them? He said that. He didn't say nothing about raping with the intent of raping them. Who don't go to a bar and buy whiskey for a woman with the intent of having sex with her? Oh, it don't work like that. It's okay when you do it, but if Bill Cosby did it, there's something wrong with it. Well, then condemn yourself too, because you've been doing that. Hey, baby, let me buy you a drink. Is that what you said? Or you might have had some smoke. Hey, you want some of that? Why are you offering her that? You don't know her. Why are you offering her that? What's on your mind? You know what was on your mind. That man ain't had to rape nobody. Let me let you see something here. I like to have if any of those women that's accusing him, I would like you to invite them to come in here, and I just want to question them. I'm not going to disrespect them, unless you think disrespect is asking you questions to make sure that you're not lying. If you telling the truth, let me explain something to you. It's just like I can stand before the whole world and take question after question on what happened to me in slavery and all of that. And I don't have to back up off of nothing because I know the history of it, and I can speak with authority on it. And matter of fact, I'd be glad for them to question me on it so that they will see that I'm telling the truth. But the one thing that just don't make no sense, if that happened to you 20 years or 30 years ago, why you didn't say nothing? If that's really what happened to you, why you wait 30 years to say something? You can't tell me you was afraid. That's a black man. That wasn't no white man. We in the United States. Since when are you afraid to report a black man's wrongdoing in the United States? And you white. That monkey won't swing. And when it wasn't swinging so good, they went and found some skin tone that looked like us to come out and start saying the same thing. But yet, nobody ever charged him with anything but the media. You know what Grover Norquist said that he do with the media. He said, you if you don't sign the pledge, we just go back and tell the people that you are for higher taxes. In other words, we take the media and slaughter you. Why? They couldn't slaughter you, hadn't made the people so dumb and make everybody think that everything that come off the television is true. But Allah said, if an unrighteous man brings you news, don't just take it and run with it. Look into it. So I told brother, invite them women, any of them, to come in here that's accusing Bill Cosby so we could look into it together. Right? Okay. Let me show you something here. I like to give people the benefit of the doubt.
You've got mail.
Yes, sir. Sure do. Let's see. Let's see what mail do I got. Now here's something that will interest you. It's going to take it a few minutes to boot up, I reckon.
So, what's your takeaway?
Bill Cosby's Medal of Freedom, the nation's highest civilian award. That is the call from a nonprofit group working to prevent sexual assault, which filed a petition. At whitehouse.gov. White House Press Secretary Josh Earnest said today from the podium that staffers will look to see whether it's legally possible. Bill Cosby, previously known as America's Dad, received the Medal of Freedom in 2002 from then President George W. Bush. Court documents show a decade ago the comedian admitted he got prescriptions of Quaaludes, a powerful sedative, to give to young women whom he targeted for sex. He admitted it. It's seen as a potential smoking gun for the more than 24 women who have accused him publicly of drugging them and raping them. Meantime, officials at Walt Disney World say they removed a bronze statue of Bill Cosby from the theme park. We reached out for the comedian's reps for a statement. They declined to comment. Jimmy Walker co-starred with Bill Cosby in the 1975 movie Let's Do It Again while he was on the TV show Good Times. And JJ, you were one of my heroes, and it's amazing to see you, and thanks so much for coming.
Oh, thank you for having me. You're one of my faves, too.
Oh, my God. I was watching.
Both of them lying. JJ was one of his heroes. You know, when people want to get you to go along with them on something, they always soft stroke you. I'm crazy about you. Now come over here. Let's see if we can slander this man. That's all it's about. But it didn't work so well. But listen to this.
That other network today, the Red Network, and I didn't know who was interviewing you, but you said everybody in Hollywood knew this, and I'm screaming at the TV, knew what? Everybody in Hollywood knew what?
I think, Shepard, everybody knew of Bill Cosby's woman propensity, that he had a lot of different women on a constant level, and it was not really even looked down upon.
Wait, now he's married at the time to the same woman to whom he's married today.
Yeah.
What star do you know of that's really a star that don't have women chasing them? Just tell me which one. You ever watch some of them people who go up to movie stars or go to them live performances and whatnot? They be falling all over themselves trying to get to them men or them women. Huh? Do they think they need to drug them? Just, use your head. You heard Jimmy Walker say everybody knew it. Women was all around him all the time. Just listen.
Right.
Yes, Camille is a great woman. They've been married forever and ever. But I think it was normal behavior maybe in those days. If you look at even the women, whether you look at your buddy over on CNN, Anderson Cooper, look at his mom. In her book, she talks about a lot of guys that she's done whatever with. So I think
I want to go back to the story at hand. Jimmy, you knew of
why you want to go back to the story at hand? I mean, ain't nobody talking about Anderson's mother. I mean, really. But he quickly changed that, didn't he? All right, let's see.
how many instances of Bill Cosby and other women?
Well, I knew of at least one. When I was in San Francisco, I was working the Hungry Eye, and a young lady came to the show with a girlfriend who was absolutely gorgeous. I was trying to do what guys do, and I was talking to her, and I said, well, maybe we should go out or something. She says, oh, no, I have a boyfriend. He works at the Playboy Club. I said, is this guy a comedian? And at that time, my ego got in the way, Shep, and I said, he can't be bigger than me. And she said, well, my boyfriend is Bill Cosby. And I went, oh, I guess he is bigger than me.
Did you go, oh, I know his wife?
No.
What he keep on bringing that up for? See, that's all to try to sway the public opinion. You see? I mean, but that monkey don't swing in here. You know, these people act like they been living in a bubble or something. You know, and you hear about presidents was doing that. Ain't nobody got no, you know what they say about people who live in glass houses, don't you? They shouldn't throw stones, huh? You see, so, I mean, here a woman sitting out there telling her he hitting on her, and she said, I'm Bill Cosby's girlfriend. Do that sound like he needed to drug somebody? But they tried to twist what he said. I wish I had that clip from Total Disclosure. Every time the man would say something, he twisted and tried to make it look like he was saying something that he didn't say. If the women wanted some Quaaludes, he gave them some. If they wanted this, so he gave them that if he had it. Sometimes people ask you, can you get me some of these? What star can't get all of the drugs that people? You can go get any drug you want if you're a star. Michael Jackson had his own private doctor injecting him. Now, see, you don't really want the truth. You just want to bash somebody that told you the truth. You just mad because Bill Cosby stood up there and told black people that, look, you sitting up here going in people's store, you stealing or you doing this, and then you get shot and then you run out there. Why wasn't you there to keep your sons and your daughters and teach them the truth that, hey, you ain't got no friends in the police. You ain't got no friends in this world of capitalism that's gonna let you come into their store and take something out of there. They looking for an excuse to shoot you. Now, if that's not the truth, let one of y'all come on in here and tell me what's wrong with what I just said. If it was wrong when Bill Cosby said it, it's wrong when I said it. So, I mean, if he said what you're doing with the pound cake and you went all crazy, how come you ain't going crazy on me? You ain't did nothing but made his day when he see you running with the television, running with something that you stole. And he gonna shoot you, and his brother, the judge, gonna say he was justified. That stuff with Dr. Cosby had died. So they go and open up a file that was supposed to remain sealed. You know why it was sealed? How many women? You just found out. How many women was he going with? According to Jimmy, quite a few, huh? If one could accuse him and get paid under the table to just go away, well, what you think the rest of them start thinking about? Some easy money? I mean, you can't say that thought don't come up. That's why it was sealed. But to accuse that man of rape, look, man, they even changed it to sexual assault. Was it rape or was it rape? If it was rape, why you don't call it that? Playing with words. That's what they're doing. Playing with words on us. And no, I'm not going to help you lynch that man. And I hope all of you will look, it's two sides to everything. I know that. If someone want to come in and have that discussion with me and question me and maybe show me some things that maybe I don't see. But you're still going to have to explain to me why this is all coming up when according to them, the law is that they can't take that to court anyway. So why is the media pushing it? Other than to defame the character of a man that black people generally look up to. They don't want us to look up to nobody that look like us. That's the thing. Tear them down. We don't need these Negroes trusting nobody but us. That's the way the lynch letter said, wasn't it? So I can't buy that no more. You know, and the little sister Aisha, I'm disappointed in you, sis, that you wrote this stuff. And then when I give you a chance to come in here and question me about why I take the stand that I take, then what is your reasoning? You want to jump on that man and accuse him of things that he's never been convicted of. Don't you know if they really had any evidence that Bill Cosby had raped some woman by drugging her, they would have been and brought them charges against him? White people don't love no Negro that much. You know, it's just like when they got this one that's claiming that she was underage at the Playboy Mansion, and what was she doing at the Playboy Mansion then? Who let her in there? And who owns it? Do Bill Cosby own the Playboy Mansion? Do you expect to find a minor in the Playboy Mansion? You can hate me all you want. That's going to get you hell. They hated me without a cause. You know, when you hate someone, then you need a certain truth to justify that. What truth do you have against me that justifies your hatred of me? Oh, you didn't mute them lines, did you? Okay. Don't mute them lines. Come on in here and tell the people what justification you got to hate me. What did I do to you? You just angry with me because I don't run with gossip like you. When you don't like a person, whatever you hear about them, you take it and run, especially if it's bad. You don't check to see if it's true. You mad at me for checking. I mean, here I got let me show you. I mean, even in there, let me let you hear the rest of this. I'll let you hear the rest of it.
Oh, I did not say that.
Why did you? Come on.
No, I was more concerned about my own male progress at that time,
Well,
Chef.
But you didn't, so that I'm clear, did you know about any of this drug business? Did you know about these accusations?
The drug thing shocks, you know, Chef, the drug thing shocks me because if you went to any tennis tournament or anything that Cosby was playing in, there were tons of women that would have gladly gone with the Cos because he had that kind of personality.
I'll rest my case. I'll rest my case. I mean, they know that man could have got any woman that just about that he wanted. They ain't sitting up there playing them little old silly games. I mean, you know, let me go to something else here. I think I better hold on to this because you never know. People get amnesia, you know, selective. You know, just like they done did on, even had a little clip in the news about Janice Dickinson. Somebody he need to apologize to. He owes her an apology. Oh yeah, please. Let me see here. Let me see here. Let's see. I think this is it here.
Yeah, you were so spoiled when I walked in the house. I didn't include you because I looked and I saw you were such a slobbing little girl. I had yeah, that's no much longer are you gonna ever have this pig shit. I promise. Okay, me and you. No, I don't give a shit about me. Don't come to Mama, dude. You know what? I'm here as your friend. Understand this right now. I didn't fly all the way from the United States of America. Damn, bitch. I really need it. You want to get in front of the camera? I want to be in new places and see people and learn fashion. This is like the first time when I've tried this, and I love it. Too bad you're ugly. Just kidding. It's an American joke. It's so beautiful.
Siis ensin ei tajunnut, että kuinka huonossa kunnossa se oli, että se oli tosi mukava ja tosi niinku päällekkäyvä, mutta mä luulen, että se oli ihan niinku normaalia, että mitä on nähnyt niinku telkkarista, että minkälainen se on, niin en mä niinku pitänyt sitä yhtään outona.
You know, you could all be almost my grandchildren. But you know what? It's all right. Yeah, don't you get like that so snippy with me. All right? Because I was she's so cute. You might even be there. You have to be respectful, always. You all have it all. It depends on the final choices of Finland's next top model.
Ja no kyllä se ehkä meni vähän sellaisiin omituisiin juttuihin, mitkä ei olisi periaatteessa liittynyt tähän mallitöihin mitenkään. Mutta en mä kokenut se niin pahana kuin joku tytöt täällä.
Why do you want to be a model? Because you love it. No, it's like good enough.
Janice oli kovin kriittinen sen takia, että minkälainen se vastaus on, että siihen ei riittänyt ihan mikään sellainen vaan, että no mä tykkään tästä hommasta.
I want to be a model because, all right, I want to pose, okay? I want to pose. I want to walk. I want to eat. I want to sleep. I want to shit. I want to be that model. I want to dream. I want to learn about photography. I want to eat, sleep, shit, eat, whatever it takes to be a model. Not because you love it. You're a pretty girl. I love the way you look. But it's not about that. It's about more for me. It's about more.
Want to do whatever it takes. I mean, would you let your daughter go into that? And these are the same people who control the television. They own the stations and all of that kind of stuff. And whenever they want to defame somebody, they just put their machine to work. Let me let you see something else here.
I do understand that you are not releasing my men.
We found the hollow ship.
Therefore, why don't you let the captain and me?
No! This entire mission has been one Federation blunder after another. You will return my men, or this alliance will end with the destruction of your ship.
You're looking well, Jean-Luc. Rested.
I won't let you move them, Admiral. I will take this to the Federation Council.
I'm acting on orders from the Federation Council.
How can there be an order to abandon the Prime Directive?
Don't apply. These people are not indigenous to this planet. They were never meant to be immortal. We'll simply be restoring them to their natural evolution.
Who the hell are we to determine the next course of evolution for these people?
Jean-Luc, there are 600 people down there. We'll be able to use the regenerative properties of this to help billions. The Sun have developed a procedure to collect the metaphasic particles from the planet's rings.
A planet in Federation space.
That's right. We have the planet, they have the technology. A technology we can't duplicate. You know what that makes us? Partners.
Our partners are nothing more than petty thugs.
On Earth, Petroleum once turned petty thugs into world leaders. Warp drive transformed. Petroleum once turned petty thugs into world leaders. Warp drive transformed a bunch of Romulan.
Partners are nothing more than petty thugs.
On Earth. Petroleum once turned petty thugs into world leaders. Warp.
On Earth, petroleum once turned petty thugs into world leaders. Alcohol did the same thing for petty thugs. They're out of their own mouth. You think just because you have plenty wealth and that you put on $2,000 pair of shoes and a $5,000 suit and can have manicured hands and toes and a very pleasing appearance, that changes your character? You're still just a dressed up thug. How you know? Because you do the same thing on a higher level that you was doing when you was just running up and down the streets beating up on people. Now you take your media and you do the same thing. And anybody who would dare to try to step in to help that person, they put themselves in danger of your thuggery also. Well, Allah already said, whoever fall on this stone shall be crushed. And whosoever make me angry enough to fall on them, and grind them to powder. So you go on, fall on me. You go right ahead. But as I told you, the only reason this is happening to Bill Cosby, the main reason, is because he's a black man who would not let white people totally control him. To show you how sick they are. They want to, tell me something. Do you think George Washington and Thomas Jefferson and all of those people who framed up the Constitution and the Bill of Rights and all of that, do you think they were perfect men? They held slaves. Thomas Jefferson was a slaveholder. Should we tear up the Constitution because they were slaveholders and slavery is condemned now? Then why is it that you don't seem to take away their honor simply because you found out something or you heard something that wasn't too pleasant about them? Now, Bill Cosby haven't been convicted of anything. But being famous while he's black, being famous while black is a crime in America. Don't think that's. Look at the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Look at Marcus Garvey. Look at all the good that they did. You don't hear nothing about them. Trying to, as far as this society is concerned, they wasn't no good at all. And as far as Negroes that's educated by them is concerned, they wasn't no good at all. You don't hear our people. They lift up people who fought against them. You wasn't ready to lift up Malcolm until he turned against the messenger. Then you start lifting them up like white people. Malcolm didn't become famous with that movement that he started. He became famous when he was representing the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. What? What did I say that's not true? We have the brother that he wanted to take me to task on what I say about Malcolm and whatnot, and he thinks that I should not be saying people outside of America should stay out of our affairs, and he's got a right to feel that way, and I want to hear his reasoning. And Sunday he's agreed to come in, and I'm going to accept him in and listen to his correction. You know, if I said something that I should not have said, then I will need to correct myself. You know? So, and apologize for saying it. So I'm not. If you ain't too big to stand up and say what you say, you should not be too big to let somebody question you on what you say. If you if you can't stand to be questioned on what you say, you ought not say it. Especially when you're talking to people that have not given their allegiance to you. Huh? And if you didn't want to be questioned on what you said, you shouldn't have said it in their earshot. But when you say something publicly, then if you thought enough of what you had to say to make it public, then don't tell the public that they don't have a right to question you on it. They don't have the right to be insulting you about it, but they do have the right to question you on it. Huh? All right then. So, did any of you want to question me on what I said? Who of you think I'm wrong for speaking up for Dr. Cosby? Come on now, don't wait. You know what a mob is? And why a mob is called a mob? Because not have a leader. A mob is just a group of people who agree to walk together and do something together that they all, at that particular point in time, agree on doing. But it ain't nobody there that actually sits. Do you understand? Okay. So, it's just like what I told you about, they play with words on us about majority rule. And we got one understanding of, he's telling, this is what the racists in this country, they be talking about one thing, we be understanding something else. They be talking over our head. They call us minorities. Where rather than say white rule, they say majority rule. and they call us minorities. Now, you just have to know the language. You don't know the language, then he can stand up and insult you, and you don't have sense enough to know you've been insulted. Like the man told us when I was in barber school. He said, you know you got your Sierra together when you can tell somebody to go to hell and they enjoy packing for the trip. And I didn't say nothing, but I understood, you know, that I was listening to the devil talking. And I my mouth shut of how he thinks. And, you know, I don't care about you learning how I think. You ain't never going to be able to fight me with what I give you. You just think you can. Yeah. So I ain't gave you nothing that you can fight me with. So we want to, you know, it's just like him. I can throw his words back in his face. I'm not afraid of hearing my own words. You see, the Lord of the worlds gives me what to say. So, you know, I can show you how to attack me with what I say, as the messenger said. And then I can show you how I can ward off your attack. You see? So, you know, never try to fight God with his own weapon. He said, many nations before you thought they could stand and contend with God and fight him with his own weapons. And he destroyed them. Yeah. I'm on your side. And that means I'm here to do you good. Accept the good and go on. All right. Ain't nobody got nothing to ask me. You mean with all this stuff people saying, I guess I disarmed you, huh? Told you, just because something, you know, the devil, one of his things was that he said he would make evil fair seeming to the people on earth and cause them to deviate from the right way. If you was Bill Cosby and was being accused of things that people claim happened 30 years ago and was being lynched in the media, would you appreciate me helping people do that to you? Then why are you helping people do that to somebody else? Huh? You heard Jimmy Walker. As good as say that man could have had any woman he wanted. And had plenty of them to choose from. What does that say about what they're accusing him of? All of them had the same thing. They went and found him where he was. What you go to his house for? What did you have on your mind? That's something I'd like to ask him. You went there to what? He's going to help you with your career. What was you going to do in exchange? What were you prepared to do for that help? They don't want to talk. They don't want to talk about that, right? How come the media don't ask them that? So I'm not going to You know. You know what we need to do as a people? We need to speak with one voice. If you would just let me be your voice, I would show you. I'd put you on top. All this stuff that people pulling on Dr. Cosby, if they start going in them stores and stuff, all them people that claim they don't want to honor him no more, they want to lynch him like that. If we stop buying their products and stop dealing with people that's associated, that anything that's on their station, we stop watching it, and all of this kind of thing. I mean, we alone could give Dr. Cosby and people like him all the money they need to build we already got a brother who got a television and radio station. We could hook them up together and say, now what you need to buy up a whole section and just build a studio from the ground up. We start making our own movies and tell them don't keep their stuff. We ain't got to take this off of them. We don't have to take their disrespect of us. And it's white people that would help us. There's a lot of us over there look like them that ain't really them. So it ain't no big thing. Let people know that your man and womanhood is not for sale. And don't be insulting me ever again, suggesting that somehow somebody paying me to do what I do. My reward is with Allah. I'm not just your savior, I'm Bill Cosby's savior too. I'm Minister Farrakhan's savior too. And Silas and Royals. So if you think that I hate some of these brothers, you got your people mixed up. I don't hate my people. I hate what you have fallen into. But I'm not going to help you destroy my people. I used to wonder why them grown men used to take off of my daddy what they took off of him. Because he'd be fussing them out and he'd be telling them they wasn't nothing and all that kind of thing. I say, he died, man, let that old man talk to them like that. So somebody's gonna bust him in his mouth. But as I grew up, I understood why they took it. They took it because they knew he cared about it. It wasn't because he was trying to belittle them. He always tried to get men to do better. Brother, don't ever resent anyone for encouraging you to be a better man. Sister, don't resent people for trying to encourage you to be a better woman. Those are the people you should thank. If it's embarrassing, the correction that someone gives you, if it embarrasses you, then correct yourself. That way you don't have to be embarrassed anymore. But don't call yourself going to beat up on the one who told you the truth. You should be thanking that person. There's one poet, I don't know his name, but he said, to thine own self be true. As long as you be truthful with yourself, you can tell when somebody's lying to you about yourself. And when people lie to you and tell you you all right, when you know in yourself you not, then you tell them, why you want to try to make me think I'm more than I really am? You remember when the man walked up to Jesus and said, good master, what must I do? Jesus said, why are you calling me good? There ain't none good but one. Jesus corrected him right away. Listen when people talk. Weigh what they're saying, whether it's true or not, or whether it's just gossip. And just because something has been said over and over and over does not make it true. Remember that. You take this link to this particular meeting, pass it around. Tell them they need to view this. And for them people to leave Bill Cosby alone. Okay. Now, is anybody that have something that, remember, you heard me stand up how many times and ask, is there anybody that have a disagreement with what I'm saying? Are those phone lines where people live? Okay. Then if they didn't have nothing to say while I was up here and I was approachable, what does that make them when they go behind my back and say all kind of things? Slanderers? I didn't hide somewhere and say what I had to say. I said it right out here in front of everybody. So why don't you do the same? Come in here if you have a disagreement with me. Why don't you be a man and a woman about it and come in here and talk to me about it, and let's go back and forth and let the people hear us both. Okay. May Allah bless us all. Keep us safe. Oh man, you in a hurry? He said we about to go. Yeah, okay, all right. Yeah. Wow. something, ain't it? Too bad grown people ain't honest like that. But anyway, may Allah bless us all and keep us safe and in our right minds. May Allah's Salam Alaikum.
Your conference recording